Today is a great day because it's raining, and so I'm going to take this opportunity to do something that makes your bike awesome. I'm going to, on both of my bikes, put new bar tape on. I'm not going to give you instructions of how to do bar tape because there's plenty of videos out there. If you watch all of them, they all say something a little different. I'm going to show you the unique things that I do when I put on my bar tape that is a little bit different than traditional methods, because I find that it just seems to work better for me. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hate the way I do bar tape, give me a thumbs down. Never subscribe. What the hell do I care? Now, the first thing I do to make sure I do this properly is I took a measurement and I made a little mark with a Marks-A-Lot. It's black on black, so it's very difficult to see. This is the same distance from here to the stem as it is from here to this mark as well. And that way I get equal spacing, because nothing bothers me more than when they're not even. So now that I'm ready, this is the part that seems to be, in some people's eyes, not controversial at all. But the reason I'm gonna roll the bar tape the way that I do is because it's easier to transition onto this part and go along here. The traditional way of doing it is to start, now I'm on the left, and looking from the back, I'm gonna go counterclockwise. So the way to think about it is you're always gonna roll the bar tape to the outside on both sides. And the reason why is because the idea is that if you're a sprinter and you're grabbing the bars, and as you go back and forth on the bars, your grip would unravel the bar tape if it was done any other way. The only problem with that is that, do I look like a sprinter? I'm hardly ever on the bottoms, gripping them so hard and torquing my body that I'm gonna unravel the bar tape. Most of the time when I'm on the bottom, it's because I'm either trying to go fast or going downhill. So the direction of the bar tape really doesn't, I've never found it to unravel the way that I'm gonna do it. So here's the way I'm gonna start it. I'm actually gonna do the opposite. On the left side, looking from behind, I'm gonna go clockwise, and on the other side, the right side, I'm gonna go counterclockwise. So let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, so I'm just gonna undo this here, and I'm gonna start at the bottom. That's where I like to start. We're gonna start kind of at an angle here, just like so. I'm going to pull it really tight so it makes it easy to go in, and then I'm going to go out. Now here's another little trick. As long as you don't tell your wife, one of her tongs you can actually place on here, squeeze it down, and push the lock button, and it'll stay there so that you can go and get stuff. So because I've done it properly before, I'm just going to take the old one and then fit it, get the correct sizing here for this piece, and then just cut. Very simple. Now here's the part that I'm talking about. As you get into this section, as the bar turns, what'll happen is then you need to reverse it, and it needs to come around this way. And so what happens is I'm going to try to get just underneath there, roll it right underneath that one, and then all it takes is to flip it around this way, and you've done the perfect turn. Some people, when you wrap the tape in the opposite direction, they have to do a figure 8, and what I find is that uses up bar tape, and then I can't bring it all the way to the end over here. And so if you have wider bars, then you run out of tape, and that's why I like to do it this way. So you can see now that without even thinking about it, I'm now wrapping it in the correct direction. See how that works? Pretty cool, huh? And man, bar tape is so much fun because it's like literally having a new bicycle. It just feels that way to me. So that's why once my bar tape starts to wear out, I like to refresh it. Now when it comes around the corner, I like to not do the halfsies. I like to do about a quarter. And the reason why is because that way it stays real nice. I love this bar tape.
The black one?
Oh yeah.
Good?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So you picked it out.
I know. Now before I seal the deal, I'm just going to look underneath and make sure there's no actual mistakes that I made or anything like that. And it looks pretty good. And that is how I like to do my bar tape. If you disagree, which I'm sure some people will disagree of the way that you do it, let me know in the comment section down below. Now this part can get a little bit tricky because you want to make sure that you get it so it's perfectly straight. You don't want it at an angle. And then also you want to make sure that when you cut it, the part goes down to the bottom, because there's nothing worse than feeling at the top the rivet of the angle of this type of bar tape. So I know exactly where it's going to be. It's going to be about right there. And I'm just finishing. And here, now what we're going to do, so there's not a bulge here, is I'm going to angle it, and I'm going to cut it along this line, because that's where I know it's going to end. So you see how I made the cut there? So now what happens is, as you wrap it around, it will stay just perfect, and the sharp edge of the tape is at the bottom. So before I put the nice tape over the top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use some electrical tape to make sure that it stays nice and tight at the undersurface, and then I will put the tape essentially, then I'll put the nice tape on top of it so it'll have a nice clean look. And so right there, just taking it over. So one nice wrap, and then I'm going to pull the electrical tape really tight onto it. So applying tension to the electrical tape will keep it nice and secure, and then one more easy wrap around. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna cut the tape at the bottom of the handlebars so that I don't feel that funny ridge. Now this Chinelli tape comes with their own tape on top. I really like this stuff. So I will put a link down below in the description for like Amazon or something if you want to look at this particular tape. But bar tape is very personalized. You can get whatever floats your boat. And I'm going to cut this at the bottom so I don't feel the ridge. Now every single time you buy new bar tape, it'll always come with a new plug. But I like these plugs the best because what happens is it's easier to push in, and then you just use an Allen key to tighten it up, and these pieces expand on the inside. And so I like the look of these a lot better than the standard ones that come in where you have to kind of hammer them in or just push them in with your thumb. So I'm going to use this one. And you see how that gives it just a nice clean look to it. Looks really nice. And now all you have to do is the other side, and you've basically got a new bike, or at least what feels like a new bike.